Hi there, Christine Lackey from Untangled Mom, and let's untangle this. What are we looking at? We're looking at how to create more harmony and happiness in our home, which is going to give you and your family such unbelievable understanding and connection through some real simple tools that I want to share with you. So here's the thing. Years ago, I studied with a gentleman by the name of Barry Kaufman, and he has a place called the Option Institute. He's the founder. At the time that he started the Option Institute, it was to work with families who had autistic children. And the intention was to meet the specific and special needs of those children's behavioral and emotional needs, right? And he studied and worked with all of these families, and he came up with some tools of how to meet them and help them live a more harmonious life. As time went on, he then took those tools and he brought it into more stereotypical homes where children are functioning at a higher level, and I say that with due respect. And then he took that information also and shared it with relationship issues and practitioners. And I studied with him for a while. And I'd love to share a few things that I learned that I think are so important. One of the things that he talked about is an old parenting paradigm and belief system is, this is my house and you are just a guest in it. So you do what I tell you to do and we'll be fine. You don't do what I tell you to do and there's going to be a problem. What he shared with that was it just creates tons of resistance and resentment and issues in the family, and then issues that carry on in our kids' lives. So here's a few tools, and there are so many from him, but here are a few tools that he shared. One is, and this is going to sound woo-woo and a little weird, but if think about it as I share this, okay? If you were to meet your children as if you're a Martian, you've just landed on the planet Earth, you have no idea what an emotion is, what a behavior is, or why anything is going on. Then you might look at your surroundings and the way everybody is from a different perspective of like, but I don't understand what anger is. I don't understand why you might be crying. The reason why he shared that is because then you are able to come at the situation and at your children or your partner or a friend, because this applies across all lines, right? You're able to come to them with curiosity. And that curiosity is, I don't know anything, and I'm going to stay wide open, and I'm not going to make assumptions as to why you're feeling what you're feeling or why you're behaving the way you're behaving. What does that give to us? Well, here's an example. That's why this came up for me today, because last night I was just like, oh my gosh, what is going on? So we have a combined home. I have a 14-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 14-year-old daughter, she loves to take control and do things. And she and her 10-year-old brother are very loving. We're a very touchy family. And so we're blended, and we have a 5-year-old little girl. So when my 14-year-old daughter and the 5-year-old little girl are together, they play makeup and dress up, and they have a good old time. And there's lots of loving that happens, lots of hugs. But then my 10-year-old he comes and goes in that, and he'll come and go, and everything's usually fine. But last night, the 5-year-old was watching a movie. The other two came and sat down. Everything was fine. Everything was going great. And then it just went sideways. And the 5-year-old is like, I just want space. And is saying it to the 10-year-old, my son, I just want space. And then the 10-year-old's like, what's wrong with you? And it starts to spiral. And I'm like, okay, time out. Not sure what's going on. It's late, bedtime. And then I laid in bed and I'm like, what just happened? I don't understand. What just happened? And my mind started to spin with, he said, she did this. And I went, stop. So if I could look at this situation with, I don't know what this could have been, right? I'm going to stay curious. I'm going to stay wide open like that Martian, like, why are these people sitting on the couch in the first place? I started to slow down the picture and watch it and see what could possibly be going on. And it hit me. This is 3 years, right? I should know this by now, but whatever. It hit me. I'm like, oh, my son. My son is so used to physical touch and space and the attention of his sister that what starts to happen is when the two girls are together, he starts to move in slowly and slowly. And he starts moving in slowly, crouching in on some space. And the little one's like, I want space. But he doesn't even know what he's doing, right? It's just so unconscious for kids to come together in general. So I was like, oh, I see what's going on. At the end of the day, we all gravitate toward one another. We want to be next to each other, and it's all about love. Do you love me? Do you want me? Do you love me? And for him, it's sort of like, oh, I think I'm like wanting to be loved here, more than what I'm getting. And again, I want to be really clear. This is unconscious, right? So I went to my daughter this morning, the 14-year-old, and I was like, I think I know what happened last night. And I need your help with this because they both want your attention. You're the big one. They want to watch you. They want to be with you. They both want your attention. And I'm wondering if it would be possible that we start playing with when Ryder comes over, when my son comes over, if you can ask him to come and sit on the other side. That way he gets to be in the same space. He gets to be closer to you. The antagonism over here probably won't happen because it's hard to explain this to a 5-year-old and to explain it to a 10-year-old because he's probably going to tell me I'm crazy. I know I'm not. But in having the conversation with my older child, I'm like, this is how we can start to try to navigate this and meet everybody's needs. And what feels good as a mom is I'm not going in there screaming and yelling. There's no resistance. I'm not telling anybody that they're wrong or something's bad because it's not. The kids are going to have behaviors for a reason. And the truth is, in our relationships, we have behaviors with each other for a reason. In those moments that we sort of want to pick a fight with each other, we start poking the bear, when I try to get you, it's because you're needing something and you're not even aware of what you're needing. Your partner isn't aware of what he needs. If we can take a step back, take a breath and get curious of like, wow, I wonder what you might be feeling right now. I wonder what it is that you might need right now. It changes the dynamics across the board. And especially right now, being home the way that we are, I'm going to invite you to play with this. If you see your kids interacting in a way where it starts to get rough, slow it down. Somebody's not getting a need met. Get really curious. Don't jump to an assumption that you know what it is, that he's just being a jerk or she's just being mean. Throw that out and just try this and get curious. I wonder what could be going on here. If I could start asking some questions like I don't even know what the answer is, I wonder what the questions might be. You'd be surprised with your children and your partners the answers that you're going to get. I hope this has been helpful. This is like my most favorite thing in the entire world because when I see it and I can meet it with my kids, I feel like we can all breathe so much better. And I hope you all try this too, because it's a gem. The simplest stuff is what makes everything so much easier. Have a great day. Christine Lackey, Untangled Mom. Bye.